What is up, everybody? It's Kamikaze here today, and today I wanted to talk about Call of Duty Mobile and, well, their monthly updates and kind of the controversy behind that. I wanted to get a discussion started about maybe why it would be a better idea to not have monthly updates inside of Call of Duty Mobile and how that could actually improve the game as we know it. So let's get right into it, everybody. Now, before we get into this video, if you guys could, please like and subscribe, guys. I make all sorts of videos ranging from, rants to discussions and whatever, just never boring old gameplay. It's always something new, guys. So if you like that type of content, well, it always helps me out a lot. We're trying to get now to like 2,000, 2,500 subscribers. So yeah, thank you guys for that. Now, when it comes to, video games and everything, one of the main factors driving these video games is kind of trends, okay? We look at games like Fortnite, say, a couple years ago, when it was so popular. One of the reasons why it rode that trend of popularity was its updates. It had weekly updates every single week, and that basically gave incentive to YouTubers to make videos about those updates and everything, and it just kept that spiral of popularity going with these new updates. See, updates, nowadays, you cannot have just a game. You can't just release it and then, just you get all the profits from it. You need to continue working on it. You need to continue updating it, increase the longevity of it, because if you don't, it loses relevancy almost instantaneously. See, video games nowadays are a continuous and infinite work in progress, and we see that a lot with mobile games when, people are releasing versions of mobile games and they will last for 5-6 years, and there's really no sequel. That's very different from, PS4 and PC games, where basically you see these games and they have updates in between. But there's a new game every single year, such as most of the Call of Duty titles. There are new Call of Duty titles every single year. With Call of Duty Mobile, it's different and special, and that is one of the weird monetization curves of mobile. And so one of the big driving factors behind relevancy in Call of Duty Mobile, and, well, any game on the App Store, is updates. You need to maintain consistent updates to maintain relevancy. And Call of Duty Mobile has kind of caught wind of that, and they have attempted to give us monthly updates. Very quick. Sometimes even these updates are 3 weeks in between. They are very quick with their updates, and they release updates very fast. And I think it has its pluses. We get a lot of new content. I get to make a lot of content on the content that's coming out into Call of Duty Mobile, which is entertaining. I like all the leaks and everything, hearing all about this stuff. It's definitely a very entertaining thing to watch, and it's a lot of new content, which is just fun. It makes the game more enjoyable, and it makes it so that every single time you're logging into the game, it's always going to be something new. However, there is an issue, and it's an issue that we've seen a lot recently, dating all the way back to like Season 7, and that is bugs. See, we have gotten a large influx of bugs into this game, and it's gotten kind of worse, I'd say, in Season 10 and beyond, especially in Season 11 and 12. We've gotten a lot of bugs, and I think that although I can't blame Call of Duty Mobile for all these bugs, it takes a long time to resolve these, and trust me, if they could resolve it, they would, but it's just, they're so complex and they take so much time. And one of the issues I feel like is that these updates, these monthly updates, are so strenuous. They are so, so much work has to be put on the developers and the designers and everything to release new content that I think sometimes it gets a little bit rushed in the process. We get new maps and everything and new stuff, and it comes in poorly optimized and whatnot, has tons of bugs in it, and it degrades the game, I think. We love new content, guys, but what we don't like? Bugs. And I love monthly updates and all, but at the same time, they always have their downsides. You're always going to get tons of bugs, and I feel like I propose a solution. Maybe if we have an update every month and a half to 2, with, the same large amount of content that we always get, I feel like that would still be enough to make this game invigorating. It would still be enough for this game to, stay relevant. If we have it every month and a half to 2 months, give them a couple of extra weeks to kind of just make sure that they're bringing out quality content that's not going to be buggy and laggy and everything. Give them that extra time. And, I feel like that would just make the game a lot better. If we have extra time to do that sort of thing, it would make the game more enjoyable, because currently, the lags and the bugs, the desync and whatnot is getting very annoying for some players, especially lower end players. I personally have not experienced too much of these bugs and lags and issues. Still a pretty decent amount, but compared to some of these lower end devices that are having major issues trying to even run the game on low graphics, it's hard to play this game, and they will lose a lot of their player base from these lags and these bugs, and a lot of the esports community. We love new content, but bugs and lags, if it brings in bugs and lag, well, I just don't think it's the way to go. I think it will definitely degrade the amount that players play this game if you continue, and for the next couple of seasons, if they continue adding in bugs and lags and whatnot, into this game, because they are making poorly optimized content, because they're so rushed, this game is actually going to lose relevancy rather than gain any. And I think you're going to lose a lot of the esports community, because a lot of players want security. If you're going to play a game like this for a long period of time, they want security that this game is going to have a lot of longevity, that it is going to last for a significant amount of time, that it's going to stay relevant for a significant amount of time. They want to make sure that this game will be playable for a significant amount of time. And if, this game just kind of is on this downward trend in terms of all of these issues, all these bugs and whatnot, I think that you definitely need to take a step back and figure out your priorities and figure out what needs to be fixed. Give that extra time. I think the community would be perfectly fine. In Season 9, when, they added in Gunsmith, it was one of the biggest features we've ever seen in the game. They told us we're going to need a little bit of extra time to make sure this is all optimized and all the bugs are out of this before it comes out. We need a little bit of extra time. And largely the community came to the consensus that that was perfectly fine. This was a major new feature. And I feel like as long as we're getting, major new things and cool content that we not only, that's not even only like big, but also we want, as long as we're getting content that we really want, I do not mind, having an update every month and a half or two. And I think that's a big thing. If they're bringing out the type of content that I feel like currently they're bringing out, then maybe that could be a different story. But if they're continuing to bring out stuff that we really want, such as zombies and, whatnot, all these features that we want added to this game, as well as bug fixes and whatnot, I feel like this game would maintain a lot more relevancy even. You just got to make sure you're giving us content that we want. I feel like some of the stuff that we're currently getting is just... there's a lot of it, but you really need quality. It's something that, it's got to be stuff that we want, guns that we want, modes that we want. I don't know. I feel like currently we're just getting kind of like a random splurge of new content. We're getting Fennec Akimbos and Molotovs and whatever, that I think a lot of players just aren't exactly happy about coming in. Just make sure it's balanced. Make sure it's got the bugs all fixed. And especially when it comes to seasons and stuff and all these balancing I feel like has taken hit, because now they are releasing new weapons, 2 new weapons almost every single update. And although yet again that is really cool, I like seeing all the new weapons and stuff, it does get to a point where it's too much and it's just coming in just unbalanced and bad. Now I don't know how much extra time really would help that or would make it more balanced, but I guarantee you it wouldn't hurt. Because we really don't want the Fennec Akimbo. We all were excited to see it, but at the same time, it just needs to get balanced. It's ridiculously overpowered. When the Molotov came in, I think it was pretty obvious that could have been balanced a little bit better. And I think it was a rushed thing. It was a rush new feature. They just kind of went through, double-checked that list, triple-check, quadruple, whatever. Made sure that everything was going to be balanced and was going to be perfect. Taking that extra time, taking that time to especially bring in a test server. For the past couple of seasons, we have not gotten a test server. We have not gotten a test server since Season 9. There will be a test build for Season 12, which I'm very happy about, but I feel like with almost every single season, we should be getting a test server, because test servers are where basically players can give input about the game before it actually comes in. When you're just skipping that phase, you're skipping that beta testing phase, you're going to have more bugs, you're going to have more issues. Test servers take time, and it takes time to fix all those issues that are coming in. So, having that extra time, I feel not feeling rushed, bringing out that test build and whatever, to allow players to kind of figure out, hey, this is powerful, this is overpowered, hey, this is a bug, give you guys input, hopefully. Because at the end of the day, developing is so important, and it cannot just be put on, the team of Activision. It really cannot. They have tons of developers, but that is still just not enough. I think that it is a team effort to make an update that is decent, and it comes from a lot of us as well. It really does. Reporting bugs, reporting all of this on the test server is part of our duty, I feel, to make the game better for everyone. And I think that, if you're just kind of cutting us out of the loop, if you're ignoring what we want to be added into the game, if you're not putting in test servers, if you're not allowing really a lot of that input, then I feel like, you're going to have a game that is lower quality. You can't just trust yourselves, to make these updates. It is a community effort, especially when the community is the ones that are playing this game, because we want to make this game as perfect as possible. And I think that seeing that test server come out in Season 13 is awesome, But, you know, we have not gotten a test build in 3 seasons about, like 2 seasons, I don't know. It's been a very long time. And I think that, you know, that is one of the big issues with this game. These test builds not coming out has kind of just created a lot of these issues, and I think, you know, it also does help with players knowing what's coming in beforehand. A lot of times in these past couple of updates, they've been so secretive, and, you know, they've put our minds up to, you know, kind of inferring what's coming into the game, inferring that zombies is going to come into the game in Season 10 or whatever, and, you know, it never does come. You know, it's great to kind of know what's going into the game beforehand, so we just kind of know. We don't have to speculate. That's also a big plus. So I think that, you know, adding in a test server, giving yourselves extra time to produce this game and double check everything, make sure that everything is perfect, hopefully not to overload or overwork, burn out your developers, because at the end of the day, these developers are heavily overworked. I can guarantee you, almost all developers are. You know, giving them some extra time to do their thing without having to be rushed, without having to be forced into all these deadlines, is going to improve this game significantly, not just for us, but for the developers, and I feel for Activision as well. It might, you know, it may be less updates, it may be less relevancy maybe, but the core community will be there, and as long as you're producing content that the players and community likes, I guarantee you this game will still be extremely relevant, and it will stay relevant for a very long time. And, I mean, honestly, we could get back into kind of that trend of this game coming back. Kind of like how, say, Minecraft came back. You know, it became irrelevant for years, but it came back. This game has been relevant, and it's had these kind of like spirals of relevancy. It's gone up and down and up and down. And I feel like if you just kind of take a step back, we could actually get even more relevancy to this game, more players, and just an overall better enjoyment of this game, which usually translates to more people paying. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you next time, guys. I love y'all. Bye.